Welcome back to WCTV Senior Spotlight Interviews. I'm Keegan Robbie, and joined alongside me is Senior Electronic Media Major Nicholas Staso. Nick, during the college application, you chose Waynesburg University, obviously. What went into that decision?
Well, there were a couple things that it came down to. One of the main things was being locality. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go further away or stay closer to home because I am a Washington County native. So it really came down to where I wanted to go. But I ended up choosing Waynesburg just because of locality and the major that I wanted to pursue.
Yeah, so you are an electronic media major. What kind of went into that decision to go into that major? We have a lot of majors here in the communication department, but you chose this one. What specifically stuck out?
So just a little backtrack. So I went to high school for musical theater. And I had done musical theater for basically more than half of my life. So I wanted to do something different. So I chose electronic media so that I can learn things like running a camera, like running audio boards, like using graphics and stuff like that. And once I got here, it was hands-on from the beginning. So I'm very blessed to be able to have done things as soon as I got here.
Yeah, so at this point of your college experience, you know all of the professors here on the communication department. Which professor kind of stuck out in helping you along with your journey out of all of the rest of the professors?
So, I mean, we know her all too well. I have to give all the credit in the world to Professor Melinda Roeder. She's given me some stern talks earlier in my collegiate career, just to give me that extra, hey, this is what you're here for. This is what you have to do if you want to, pursue this career after you're done. And now I'm a senior, and I feel that all professors, not just including, Melinda, but have given us the abilities to, once we graduate, to pursue whatever career we wanted in the communication field.
Yeah, so you're involved a lot with WCTV, a lot with Nerd Alert and the newscast, and a lot behind the scenes action. What's kind of your favorite part throughout your college journey with WCTV?
So I think my favorite thing has to be getting in front of the camera. I was a little nervous, so to say, trying to even get in front of the camera, but once Tim and Micah and Rebecca gave me the chance to be on the newscast as an anchor, I fell in love with it immediately. And then I became the weather guy for a couple of newscasts, and then Aaron Lang and Darian Allensworth, they wanted me to be on Nerd Alert just because I am a huge nerd, and you know that from being my roommate. So I guess the aspect of getting in front of the camera, putting that professionalism suit on, and showing the talents that I've learned here at Waynesburg.
Yeah, so everyone knows for the most part, at least, if you're in this department, you're a part of WUSN. Mm-hmm. And you're not a sports media major, sports info major. So what kind of led you into WUSN, and how did that impact your college career?
So, I mean, like you said, I'm not one of the sports media guys, so I'm never on the camera when it comes to WUSN, but I still love sports. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I'm a huge Pittsburgh fan. But in terms of WUSN, I got to work behind the camera. I got to run camera for football and basketball. I ran the audio boards for football and basketball. I ran the graphics for football and basketball. So I got to do a little bit of everything, not just for WCTV, but for WUSN as well, which I think will help me even further when it comes to my career.
So staying involved with sports, in the summer, you worked with the Washington Wild
Mm-hmm.
Things as an intern. What did you kind of do there, and how was the overall experience?
It was fantastic. I think that, relating it back to WUSN, WUSN and Waynesburg gave me the talent that I already needed to do what I did. I was a video production intern. So basically, I ran the camera for our live baseball productions. So basically, it was a normal day. I'd get there at 4 o'clock, set up the camera for a 7 o'clock game, and then we were on Flow Sports for the next 4 or 5 hours.
So you're about to walk across the stage in just a handful of days. What are you going to miss most about Waynesburg?
I think one of the main things I'm going to miss about Waynesburg is, yes, obviously my friends, the professors, but I think the biggest thing is the community that we have here at Waynesburg. I mean, I know that there are pros and cons to being at a small school, but I think the biggest pro that I'm going to take away is the community and how everybody knows everybody. You could walk down, to Willie, and you could see 5 people who you don't really hang out with much, but you know them by their first name. and saying hi and having a big smile on your face. I think that the community here is amazing, and I think it's going to be something that I miss.
So one final question for you. What's the next step for Nick Staso?
So I have one of the greatest opportunities that I think that I never thought I was going to have. So after I graduate here from Waynesburg University, I will be working for the company of Disney, Walt Disney Company. I get to work attractions at Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. You know me, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So working for Walt Disney Company, not for them, but for the attractions job that I'm going to be doing. I know it's not in the communications department. That time is coming soon. I do want to work in communications, but this is something that I've wanted to do ever since I was a little boy. I wanted to live in the Star Wars world, and now I get to do it. And just talking about it, it's giving me chills just because, like I said, this is something that I've wanted for my entire life, and now I get to do it.
Thank you, Nick. Congrats on graduation and finishing this huge part in your life. But that's all we have for this Senior Spotlight on WCTV. Until next time.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.